Welcome back to Cephas Unscripted. I think it's episode 154. I'm not too sure. But Brevan, it's only the two of us tonight. Britt's got some other matters to attend to. We've got a good game. We've got a good weekend of Ragas once again. The final proper Autumn Nation series for the South. It's actually for all the teams, it's their final game of 2024, and that brings
Except
the
for
end.
the Wallabies. I know the Wallabies in Ireland play next week.
Yeah,
But the rest,
and Australia, obviously. But for most teams, it's probably the final game, which is sad. But I think it's been an outstanding year of rugby. To be honest, as a South African, obviously we are extremely happy. But let's run through some predictions for this weekend. People, please do remember to like and subscribe. We do appreciate you guys, and also click the link in our bio to join our SUPERBRU. Well, obviously it's a bit late now, but if you have been playing, and you didn't have a pool, you can just join up into ours.
There's also URC though. I know we have a URC.
Yeah, but the link is just for the internationals. I'll have to post.
But I'm saying there is more Super Brews to look out for, so there's not.
Yeah,
you won't miss out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, starting off with obviously this is going out tomorrow morning, so Friday night game. This game, this is vibes because Argentina, they'll be up for it, right? France, we can say they were disrespectful or whatever, but they traveled with their C team and beat Argentina in Argentina. Do you smell a little upset on the cards for Argentina or not really?
Unfortunately not. I think France will be way too good. But what never disappoints is a French versus Argentinian game. I feel like there's a bit of a rivalry there. Both teams love a bit of flair. And yeah, I just think it will come down to the fact that I think that then again, Argentina are a physical team, but I just think the French do have the upper hand in physicality, and obviously missing Pablo Materazzi as well, which isn't a great thing.
I've said it before, right? I like the way that Argentina's played. They've actually put a couple of consistent performances up now, but the issue is, if there was ever a team that matches up perfectly to play against the way that Argentina does, I feel like it's the French. Structured, kicks the ball a lot, but still keeps the game tight. Physical, like really, really physical. Just kind of slow and methodical and breaks you down, and then all of a sudden something out of nothing, right? And I just think that combats the way that Argentina plays so well. So I've got France to win it quite comfortably as well. I'm going with like a 19-point victory. Obviously, they're playing at home as well. I kind of want to bring something up. Like even though we're not really fans of what France are doing next year, they always put on bangers. Like their games are always a good watch. Like you are glued to your TV. And how good does it look to actually be in the stadium there? Like the vibes.
It's insane. Like just
if you got a ticket. Bro.
Yeah, no, it is insane. Like that Hacker whole setup with the lights and just obviously the crowd, and I found that the French were actually very respectful towards it. But just the whole showcase, and obviously they are such a passionate bunch of fans, whether we like them or not, that they'll always make noise and they'll always get behind their team, and it is a bit of a tricky atmosphere to play in front of, because they will drown you if you're not careful. Like the fans on their own could probably win that game just from the volume of that stadium. So it is a very dangerous place to play, in my opinion.
I'm not even going to lie to you, right? Obviously, the French were one of the 2 or 3 favorites when it came to their own World Cup. But then for the Six Nations, there was a bit of hype that around them that dropped off. But it feels like there's a different kind of aura around them this time around. They just feel a bit more.
It is DuPont. Like
You,
he
you
just
well,
brings.
you could say that, but the stadium feels different. The way that they make it like almost a festival at the start of the game. It's just a different, feels different watching
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Right? Since after the World Cup, those home games there, it hits a bit different, right? Obviously, they've just come off a draw to Italy. They've just come off should have been a loss to Scotland, right? Played it really close against England. Got smashed by Ireland. I'm thinking they favourites going into the Six Nations now all of a sudden again. Obviously, that could be DuPont, right? Because he's a class player. But just the aura around it. You can just see Louis Bill Barre, he doesn't look like that youngster anymore. It's kind of, since Peno's been out now, he looks like the senior guy. He's taken the world by storm at the moment.
yeah. And he's such a dangerous player as well. Like I'd hate to just if I'm an Argentinian wing, I'm dreading anyone just putting in a ball behind me because to try and turn and get catch up to that ball before you obviously have this guy who's so quick behind you and obviously just so deadly. Obviously, yeah, it's crazy. And then I agree. I think looking at how Ireland have played in this Autumn Nations, I think you got to say France are the favourites going into Six Nations. England look good, but they're not getting the results. Scotland not looking great. Um, Ireland getting results, but really struggling, in my opinion. Oh, they didn't
I
get the
mean, not
results
really
against New
even getting
Zealand.
the results. They
Yeah,
got
sorry,
one
they lost
result.
against New Zealand. Yeah, um, and the French have looked the strongest. They beat the All Blacks, and Ireland didn't. So
Yeah, they
yeah,
beat
I mean
Japan.
that's
Um, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, you play rugby to a much higher level, right? When you have a winger, let's say even if Pena was available, and you have the pace of Louis Bill Barre, does that play like a subconscious role in the defensive line where it's like we can't shoot up too much because if there's a ball that goes in the back, we are smashed. So you kind of, I don't know, second guess yourself in a lot of aspects. Obviously, you know more about the defensive lines than I do, but does that play a role subconsciously, knowing that there's a deadly winger with extreme gas that can capitalize on any form of mistake, any form of lapse of judgment in defense?
yeah, absolutely. It's you kind of to defend against those players are tough because it's like you can't if you shoot up and a ball gets put in behind, you kind of have to just hope your fullback is in the right position to cover you. If, for example, we saw against the All Blacks, a ball goes to waste and it's a simple scrappy thing and the ball gets put in behind, it's dangerous and it does make you second guess whether the right thing to do is shoot up here or whatever because defending against that is it's ultimately it's just tricky, especially if you don't have the pace to catch him. So
Yeah, because in the end, it's going to end up being just a pure foot race, and he'll
yeah,
probably win it most of the times now.
yeah. So yeah, I mean ultimately one of the most difficult things to defend is pace at the end of the day because you don't need much technique behind it per se. Like you don't need
Mm.
to make the step or whatever. If it's just pure pace, it's kind of like you've got to position yourself in a way where you don't allow them to gain that momentum, if that makes sense. So it is a tricky thing to defend. So yeah, I am expecting a couple tries from him. Let's just say that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So both of us are going France to win it quite comfortably.
Mm.
This one. Let's go next game. Ireland versus Fiji. Initially, I was like, Ireland will put up a statement performance, kind of the same thing as I said with France. Like, just it's a bad matchup for Fiji. Ireland's very structured, very boop 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 boop. That's how their attack is, and if you make a mistake there, you're gonna get punished. And Fiji's one of those teams that want that ball loose, they want to throw that ball out wide, and you just Ireland's not really the team for that. But then you look at that lineup. There's a couple of rotational things, but then I'm like, it's not really too much rotation really going on. Like the basis is still there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident in saying Ireland get double digits victory, 19 points.
I think it's. I could even see it being 25-30.
I had it
And
initially
that's
at 28, but then I dropped it because of the team selection.
I still look at the team, and I think it's more than capable. I don't have an issue with Fiji per se. I just don't think, like you said, they suit a game against Ireland. Like
No.
when you play a team against Wales, when you play like against a team like Wales, where they are struggling and they don't have an identity to them, it gives your star players. Because let's be honest, Fiji rely on their star players to make big moments happen.
And there's
That
no
is how
Samira
they.
Jadra.
No, no, okay, then it's definitely no chance.
Yeah.
Um,
And they
yeah.
scraped over the line against Wales, and they lost by a massive margin to Scotland B.
Yeah, obviously they didn't have their players in that Scotland game, but yeah, look, ultimately, regard if they had their strongest team or not, I just think it's a danger because obviously the Fijians, yes, they tackle very hard and they tackle very well, but their defensive structure is horrific.
Yeah.
They bank on the loose play and kind of like these individual star players to make something happen. Um, So yeah, I just think Ireland will be way too strong, and I don't even think it's a, a think of like, oh, could Fiji pull this off? I just think it's a straight up
No.
demolition.
No,
Yeah,
no, they don't stand a chance, right? We don't like writing teams off, but they have at most probably like 0% chance. Like if I really had to push it.
yeah.
Um South Africa, Wales. Obviously, we've spoke about our team. We don't need to go into too much depth about this one, but I'm thinking we smoke them. Put them in a split and
Oh,
smoke them.
I said I don't know the margin, but I said we are definitely scoring over 60 points. That's what I said.
68 points to 8. There you go. 60 points margin.
Yeah, I just have us
Because
scoring
I
over
think this
60
is the one
points.
where we like, okay, screw it. No more high ball bullshit. We're running that ball. And if you look at it, Tommy Raffel once again on the bench. No Aaron Wainwright. Obviously, Jack Morgan is there, but I mean, the rest. No Cam Winnett, who's like a very creative outlet, or he's got like a little spark around him. There's just nothing.
Yeah, I think he was Welsh. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw someone like doing a team kind of analysis on a different social media platform of the Welsh team, and they weren't happy. It sounded like they were talking about Wales like it was their team. I couldn't really, I just didn't think it was a Welsh accent, so that's why I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, he wasn't happy, and he said something along the lines of the fly off is a huge mistake. Apparently, this fly off is horrific.
Sam
And
Costello. I've called this for a long time. This guy.
the fullback, apparently has never played fullback before as well. So
Yeah. Listen, this just tells you we don't even know their players. I know Rio Dyer's there.
yeah,
Wow.
Rio like it's gotten very sad for the Welsh. Let's just say that. Yeah,
They need to get rid and start. Listen, embrace being terrible at the moment. Just say we're going full steam ahead. We're getting rid of Gatties, and then uh, we're going to start fresh, right? And it might take a few years, but you need a full on rebuild the way that things are going at the moment. And the thing is, right? A rebuild. It doesn't need to take years. Obviously, it can take years. Look at what Australia is doing. Obviously, Australia has a bit more talent than Wales, right? But a year ago, Wales put what 50 on Australia.
40 something, 5 or 8 or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Look at this. Look at this Australian team. How good they are doing, right?
Mm.
You look at the
Yeah. Sorry.
UFC. The Welsh teams aren't doing that bad. Like maybe they haven't got all the results necessarily, right? But they've been playing some good rugby. You've seen a couple of standout guys coming through, especially at the Scarlet, who's usually absolutely terrible, right? Get a coach in, experiment a bit, see what sticks, and then go full steam ahead. That would be my recommendation for them.
Yeah. Ultimately, Gatlin obviously a legend to Welsh rugby, but if you're losing 11 in a row, probably going to be 12. Then you go into the Six Nations, and if you're still there, you think they lose to England, they lose to Scotland, they lose to France, they lose to Ireland.
Mm.
And on a good day, on a bad day, or even a mediocre day, they lose to Italy. And you think that could take them to 17 in a row, if all worst case scenario. You like you said, you have to. Now's the chance. I think this is Gatlin's last game. You need to start searching now, as we
Mm.
speak, to kind of find a coach. I saw something like, and I might actually agree with it. Maybe getting Sam Warburton as director of rugby in there because he understands Welsh rugby. You know, he's been there his whole life. He's a legend there, and he'll want to save Welsh rugby. Not saying he must be the coach, but
Yeah,
because
you can
obviously he's
maybe get
never.
him involved, right? I'm not a big fan of ex-players getting into coaching positions soon
Yeah,
and then taking over.
yeah. I'm just saying part of like the directors or something because we need
Mm.
someone to overview that Welsh team. That's just like kind of has an idea of how the system works, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a
It's it
tricky
is
one
a,
at the
it is
moment.
a sad state of affairs, but obviously we don't care. We won 60 points. I just want to see a free flowing Bach team for once, right? Even if we
I
struggle
just,
every year and year and there, let us try some stuff, see how the backline can flow, run it from deep. It doesn't really matter to me. I just want to see some proper rugby from us instead of just bombing it.
but my issue is I just hope it doesn't turn into a game like it was against Portugal, where you do kind of get that feeling like everyone wants to score,
Oh
and
no,
that
no, but I
I
think
just
there's
worry
there's
about
more
that.
respect on Wales than on Portugal, and
Yeah, okay, there is. I
it's not
can't
like
be
we've
that
got
mean, but yeah,
but it's not that we have like a ton of young guys that need to play for their position, if you get what I mean. So let's say,
yeah.
for instance, Evan Roos gets that 8 jersey against Portugal. He's like, this is my opportunity to score 2, 3, 4 tries. And I can break through a bunch of lines and I can bulldoze over people and really impress. And then they try and do too much. We haven't gone with all that rotation, right? You're not going to see John Klein try and do that. Franco Morstead is just coming back off injury. All of these guys have played before. So maybe you see Jordan Hendricks to do it, maybe, but he probably knows my best thing is just to listen to Rassi, get that ball out wide, show my creative ability in terms of that. That that's basically it.
Yeah, ultimately, I'm just saying it because, you know, Wales are looking weak at the moment, and sometimes that lights up some eyes. So, yeah, but hopefully, like you said, the senior players in the team kind of just make sure that it's not all about that and structures are stuck to. And I think it will because, like you said, the team isn't like that Portuguese team where we played a whole bunch of new guys. You know, obviously, there's a lot of familiar faces in this team. So, just
Yeah.
hope that it does stay to the structured play that we wanted to.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Italy, New Zealand. Previous time these two met, 94 points in a World Cup. I think it was 94. I'm not even
It was
sure.
a lot.
But this
It,
Italian team, they feel different. It's not the same Italian team that got whacked in that World Cup, is it?
it technically is, and I still think New Zealand puts 50 on them, maybe
Oh
60.
wow!
Yeah.
At home?
Mm.
No,
I
don't
just
agree.
think they lost to a Argentinian rotated team by 50 odd points to I think it was what 21. Imagine what a strong full New Zealand team would do.
Yeah, but we all know the scoreline didn't reflect that game. They're
Oh, but
just not
still,
clinical
you
enough.
let in 50 points playing well. Imagine what you're going to do if you let in 50 points playing sketchy, which they probably will. I don't know. But then again, you might bring your A game against All Blacks. Who knows? And I
I
hope I'm
think that
proven wrong.
maybe I just feel like maybe they're hurting against. They're hurting from what happened in the World Cup. They had no Menoncello there, by the way. It is the Italian team does have a bit of a different feel. I think they have a new coach. They've got a couple of new players, right? You look at that centre pairing with Menoncello and Brex, Ioane on the wing. I don't think Ange Capuazzo is back just yet. I mean, the guy got absolutely bulldozed against Argentina. Um, but they've got a lot of talent. They do have a lot of talent, this Italian team. But saying that, I'm not saying it's going to be a close game. Don't get me wrong. I do believe New Zealand win it, but let's say about 24 points, 21 to 24 points. I think Italy can be strong enough to stay in the game for the first half.
I think if New Zealand don't win by more than 30, they'll look at that game and be extremely disappointed with their performance.
Oh shit! Well, my chair just broke. Okay. Um,
Hectic.
can you see it? Look at that.
Yeah, I can see it. Stuff
Hold
is
on.
unscripted. Funny.
Look at that. Let's see if I can
Can you at
summarize.
least sit?
Okay. Oh shit. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Well, yeah, because now I'm doing squats while forward. Can I forward like this? I'm on my knees.
Go
Well,
for
this
it.
is not
We don't
right.
need to keep it much longer.
You see, now people will make inappropriate jokes because now I'm on my knees and I've got pillow or cushion, whatever you want to call it, on my knees, so my knees doesn't hurt.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Anyway, the exciting one: Scotland Wallabies.
Yeah. This is the one I'm actually keen for. Well, obviously ours,
This is
but
must-watch TV.
yeah, I'm keen for this one because it's the way I look at this game, right? It's like the Wallabies are finding form. They're like starting to perform quite well, and then you have a Scottish team who people actually rate, and they think because obviously they beat England in the Six Nations, they took Ireland to the wire. They should have beat France. And you start thinking like, oof, the Scotland team's not bad, but then like if Australia win, it kind of puts this huge. I think it's a massive lose situation for Scotland if that makes sense. Like if you beat Australia, it's like yeah, but you're beating an Australia that's like they found some form, but they're still
No, but
rebuilding.
there's a bit more hype around them now at the moment.
No, but I just think like the Scottish need to win this. Obviously, I don't think they will. I think Australia's going to win,
Yeah, me too.
but um, and that's no disrespect because obviously I will be supporting Scotland because it is my second team, but I just don't think they're going to win. I don't see how they win, especially
The
with like the
matchups of
talent.
this one, the matchups of Len Ikitau and was it Tuali'i versus Hugh Jones and Tuipulotu. That is a sexy battle.
Yeah,
Finn Russell versus Noah Lolosio. Lolosio, he played very well against Wales. I think that's a nice battle. The wings, Andrew Kellaway, Darcy Gray, Duan Funamata. I'm not even sure who's going to be the other winger. Jorgensen probably still. Tom Wright versus Kinghorn. Look at those Lucy battles.
yeah, Valentini. Oh, I think I'm being harsh. Obviously, I do think Scotland have a chance at winning this game. Don't get me wrong. I think if Scotland are playing good rugby and rugby that they played, I saw some of it in the Six Nations, then I wouldn't be shocked if they won. But ultimately, I think Australia are finding their feet. That if they could end the tour, not end the tour, because obviously they play Ireland the following week. But if they
Yeah.
can win this game, I think they've had an incredible, whether they beat or lose to Ireland, they've had an incredible tour. And it's something to
I
build
think if
on.
they win this game, they will fancy their chances, especially if Ireland does not put in a good performance.
Yeah, look. Yeah, look, I'm gonna need more than one series to like convince me that they're ready. But look, I don't know. I was the one that doubted them the most out of the three of us. And obviously I've eaten my words. Like I see a
I've
lot of
called this for
improvement.
months.
You have. So
To be fair,
I was
I've
just
called this for months, but they stank out the place at certain times in the rugby championship, and they've scraped over the line against England, but obviously battered Wales.
yeah, but look, I think that English victory is there's no if they're playing that couple months before, there's no ways they're winning. No ways.
No,
Like there's
no,
not a
the
chance.
improvement is there. The improvement
Yeah,
is there. Joe Schmidt miracles.
exactly.
So, what's your official
Um,
prediction? Scotland, Wales
I
by
think it's
Wallabies
Australia
by.
by I'm gonna say Wallabies by 6.
Yeah, I'm going Wallabies by 8 as well. I like this. This is much watch TV. I will be glued to my screen watching that game. You
It's
can just see when some games are going to be a banger, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
Final one, a little bit of a storyline on this one. Eddie Jones versus his ex-team. Obviously, the previous time they played against each other in Japan, England smoked them. But I thought Japan had good moments until they just decided to knock every single ball every single time that they got a line break. England not good at the moment. Their previous victory, right? They've lost every game. Their previous victory was Japan. Eddie Jones, a lot to play for, back at the place where he got sacked from. They have been looking better. I know they haven't gotten the results, right? But if you look at them against France, way more run meters. You look at them against New Zealand, that game didn't reflect the scoreline at all. Like, yeah, they ran away with it in the second half, but Japan looked very good in certain patches. I'm not putting it past Japan.
I am. No way they win.
Boring,
Look, and
bro.
no. The reason I say it is just because I think, yes, England have lost 5 in a row. Don't get me wrong. That's not a great look. But if you look at those games, they took New Zealand to the wire in both tests in New Zealand. They took Australia to the wire and probably should have won that game, but defended like absolute chops in the last seconds. You look at the game against New Zealand again when they played it at the Allianz or whatever you want to call it. And they probably should have won, but bottled it. Look at the game against us. They had their opportunities to win that game, whether we like it or not. They were always in the fight. They just keep making silly errors at crucial times. But now, I think they can afford to make those silly errors against Japan and still win. That is why I'm saying they're going to win. But also because they play much better rugby. I think the rugby they play is not as unattractive as people think. Does that make sense?
It's not unattractive at all. It's ineffective at the moment.
Yeah, well, they just can't find a way to win. But realistically, out of all those 5 games, there was something there for them. They just bottled it.
I just feel like Eddie Jones will be hungry on this one. I either think Japan sneaks over the line or England put a spanking on them, like 30 to 40 points.
I think it's that one.
Just for the shits and gigs, because my girl's English, to be spiteful, I will go with the Japan victory by 2 points. 2 points at the end.
I think Borthwick gets sacked on the spot if he loses to Japan.
And they reinstate Eddie Jones.
Imagine. That would be funny, but that won't happen.
You definitely get sacked, right? If they lose this,
I think he has to get sacked. Maybe he doesn't because apparently
he should have been sacked already. Like, this is unacceptable. I don't care if he lost that points. Those games by half a point. You don't lose 5 in a row to all the top teams. You've literally just made yourself look like you are not even a top 7 team. If you look at the talent that they have, England should be top 5, top 4.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just, yeah, I don't know. I just think that
He's a notebook coach.
Yeah, look, I just think Borthwick. Yeah, I think he's costing them a lot. And like you said, he probably should have been gone. But I've just heard that he's very much well liked by the RFU, which, by the way, is in big shit. Apparently, I don't know if you saw that.
But that is terrible, right? Keeping him in a job just because he's liked instead of performances.
Yeah, but that's always been English media, like, and the way the English worked. I don't know.
What did you say about the RFU?
They're in like 40-something million debt or something like that. Or a loss. No, they recorded a loss.
Apparently, aren't they getting like that Saudi money or something to get some of their clubs and stuff back?
Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, that's just rumors. But apparently, they made a big loss this year, which is not great.
Yeah.
Especially for a,
Anyway, people, thank you for watching. My knees hurt, so we have to call this one. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please do remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Yo.